Muskan. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tina Mine. You should repeat after. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tina Mine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
According to
Hare,
this email,
Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radhe.
Jayo Jagannath Jagannath Baladev Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya 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 Baladeva Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai.
Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna. I want to see all the participants. There are 7.
You can change the view actually.
Give me the phone. So everybody on the Zoom line can hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, and the volume is okay?
It's perfect.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, I would like try to be on video if you can, because at least we are online and it's better that we are more interactive, and if you can try to be on video instead of being on audio. So we'll carry on from, as I mentioned, the Mangalacharan. We need to do it very consciously, and when we are doing the prayers, we need to really feel that we are addressing the acharyas, the devotees, the Panch Tattva. So what we will do, we'll go to page 1 as introduction. Yeah. Ratikala Manjari, Krishna Shanti, if you can come on audio, that would be great. So everybody on page 1. So what we will do, we'll do the, we'll chant the whole Mangalacharan, then we'll carry on with the discussion. So anybody joins, will, and then you prepare the PowerPoint to be shown. Anytime I will have to show. Okay, so this will chant all of us together, introduction, in a very prayerful mood, and as if, see, when we're doing Om Agyana Timirandasha, be very conscious that you are addressing all your Guru, and in your mind, let the mind focus on the Mangalacharan. So let's start, and this we will do it together. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Istapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute.
Vandeham. So Madhavi, do you remember?
Oh yes.
The file is?
Which file?
The PowerPoint presentation is in which location, you remember?
It was in my email.
You have not downloaded it in the
You
system?
have to convert maybe quickly. Can you convert quickly? Go in my email, I'll show you. Yes, Mataji Chan, Vandeham Shri Guru,
Vandeham
Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Pada Kamala, Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam, Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam, Tam Sajivam, Sadvaitam Savadutam, Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padat Sahagana Radita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna. So, we'll continue with the Mangalacharan. And remember last time we were able to do the first one, Om Agyana Timirandasya and Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam. So anybody would like to share what we understood by these two mantras? Don't hesitate. My teacher told you should never lose an opportunity to speak in public. And here we are not in public, we are among us. So
Hare Krishna Mataji.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, just I think the first one, Om and Mandasya, I think just remembering that we're always in the darkest of ignorance every time we come into class is really important. That was like my big takeaway from last week. No matter how much we learn and how much we read or whatever, just to always come in that humble state of mind and always reminding ourselves that there's always more that we have to learn and that we're always really in that darkest place of ignorance. So I think is a really good reminder.
Yeah, very good, Prabhu. So every time this should be the mood. When we have this mood, we open the door of our heart to learn. If we have this mindset, oh, we know, then there is very less opportunity, even for the guru to give. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, when Arjuna, there was a moment when Arjuna said, okay, Krishna, now I'm confused, Krishna, I don't want you to be my friend anymore, but I want you to be my guru, to be my spiritual master. I'm confused, I know nothing, I understand nothing, please guide me. So what happened when Arjun express himself with that mood? What was the very first action of Krishna? Can anybody recall?
He smiled.
Very good. He smiled.
Yeah, in a way to say you.
Yeah. So just imagine a disciple is in such a situation. Arjuna is almost manifesting himself in this mood. Om Jnana Timirandasya. There's complete darkness in front of me, Krishna. Please guide me. Take away my sorrow. Take away my ignorance. And here what darkness means. In the ignorance, darkest ignorance. And what knowledge means. Definition of knowledge. If we tell people in the outside world, oh, he's very knowledgeable, what's the point? If he doesn't know Krishna, he doesn't know the goal of life, and he doesn't live his life meaningfully and purposefully. So this is how a spiritual master is the most important personality in one's life. So like that, always have the mood. And how about then Krishna smiled. What does that mean? He was pleased. His heart open. See, there's a reciprocation. There's a relationship between a teacher and a student. According to the mood, submissiveness of the student, to that extent, even the teacher can deliver. If just imagine you're a teacher, you are sitting in a class of puffed up students who's like, okay, what you have to teach us, we already know. The teacher cannot be open. So our mood should be always be open. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he say regarding while he's in front of his spiritual master? Even use the word loudly.
He said, I'm a fool.
I am a fool. I know nothing. So Mahaprabhu himself, he's teaching us all the way in Bhagavad Gita, is beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the emphasis between Sukadev and Parikshit Maharaj? What is the emphasis on between Sutta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya? In the beginning, it's all explained, the mood and how this disciple is glorifying the teacher. And this is the key secret to get into, to open the door to receive spiritual knowledge. And how about the second one, Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam? Anybody remembers what we said? Anybody want to share?
When will Rupa Goswami give me shelter under its lotus tree?
Yes.
Who has established a mission to fulfill Lord Chaitanya's desire?
Yes, he knows. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam. And as I mentioned, always pray to Srila Rupa Goswami, because we are also known as Rupanugas. That means follower of Rupa Goswami. So all the acharyas are following very strictly the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Okay, so thank you very much. And we'll go to the next mantra. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha. Again, Guru. First, glorification is about Guru. Second is about Guru who knows the heart and mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here we'll be glorifying the 6 Goswamis. We need to know, it's very purifying to know the name of all the 6 Goswamis by heart. It's almost like if someone asks you your father's name, mother's name, and you say you don't know, you are not sure. So this is how we establish relationship. So in the 6 among the Goswamis, there is Srila Rupa Goswami, and along with his elder brother Sanatan Goswami, as well as Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatt Gopal, Raghunath Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami. These acharyas, it's of very exalted personalities. If we just go a little bit through their lifetime, it's highly purifying. And especially the appearance and disappearance of these acharyas, if Prabhupada has emphasized that we observe, actually, to get Krishna's mercy, to really know Krishna, it's by the teachings and service to these acharyas. So all what we can do to observe their appearance and disappearance. They are stalwart in the movement. If we see their life, like Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, very exalted person. They are so lofty. What they have given to the movement, it's like treasures, gems. So here, see how we take blessing. We don't go to Krishna directly. First, we offered blessing to all our guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Pad Pradaksha Guru, mentor, whoever has helped us to come to Krishna. We ask for blessing. Now we are going, we are doing the ascending order of pranam mantra. We asked blessing from the Goswamis. And then is Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha. Then we offer. I offer my respectful obeisance. Everybody's following. Just put this. Okay, I want to see them here. Should I click here? I want everybody. Yeah.
If you want to minimize, you can click on
Okay,
this. If
yeah,
you
and then-
maximize, you have to.
Okay.
Show this. And
What did you maximize? Okay. Okay. So after
Mataji, while you're not using the PowerPoint, could you not share the screen just so that, because otherwise we're very small, and you're very small, so it would be nice to be able to see people unless I'm not doing it right.
can you figure out?
yes, no.
So no.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So you have to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit illiterate in technology, learning now. I'm from the 1980s. Sorry for that. So it's better now, Mataji? Yeah. So the PowerPoints we will use after the Mangalacharan. And yes, so after, then we are I offer my respectful obeisance to Lord Krishna Chaitanya. Everybody knows who is Krishna Chaitanya in our class.
Yes.
If anybody doesn't have more, wants to know more about Krishna Chaitanya, I can briefly explain. Lord Nityananda is Balaram, Krishna Chaitanya is Swayam Krishna, along with Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya, as we know, he is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu and Sadashiv. Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani, and Srivas Thakur is Narad Muni. Narad Muni is, he has been the spiritual master. Can you give me some of the personalities who or great personalities, even in Bhagavatam, it's mentioned. He's a spiritual master of some personalities.
I think we have mostly.
But
Prahlad
Maharaj,
no. Yeah.
Who did you say was Srivas?
Yes, Srivas Thakur.
He's Narada Muni.
Yes.
Oh.
Anybody on Zoom line who knows he is the spiritual?
So many people like
Name me some disciples of Narad Muni from very famous.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Actually, no.
Prahlad.
Okay, my question is from the Zoom line. Anybody who
Hare
knows?
Krishna Mataji,
Yeah.
Dhruva.
Very good, Prabhu.
Yeah, I was about to say Dhruva Maharaj.
Very good, Dhruva Maharaj, and one another personality, very famous.
Prahlad as well.
Very, very good. And like that, he has many other disciples who he have given Krishna consciousness, and Bhagavatam is full of these pastimes. And Narad Muni, we have to understand that just imagine among the Panch Tattva, many others could have been included in the Panch Tattva, but why Narad Muni? Why?
Because Narad Muni was he was everywhere, right? Like he was the son of Brahma, right?
Yes, Narad Muni is the son of Brahma. Very good. And Narad Muni is the son of Brahma, and he has been Lord Brahma. When he received knowledge from Krishna, he imparted all the Vedic knowledge to Narad Muni. And just imagine the position of Narad Muni. That's why when we study, we learn, we'll develop this samskara of appreciating, glorifying, and showing the due respect to the personalities. Narad Muni is so exalted that he is almost as close as same as the Supreme Lord. But Prabhupada said, be careful. He is not the Supreme Lord, but he's almost at this position. Why? Narad Muni has the ability he has the free ticket. He has, how we call a visa, that you can travel, open visa. Not just only the material world. He has the open visa to travel to any corner of the spiritual world. Not only that, he has the right even to enter Goloka, Vrindavan at any time. This is his position. Like Brahma, when he had to come to meet Krishna, he had to wait at the door. And the doorkeepers to ask him, okay, which Brahma you are? And he was very proud. I am the creator. And then Krishna smashed his ego by telling his doorkeepers, okay, go ask him which Brahma he is. And then Brahma realized, I'm just the teeny tiny Brahma in the universe. But Narad Muni, he has even this right to enter Golok Vrindavan at any time. And not only that, he can even participate in the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. See, when he wanted to participate in the rasa dance, he entered a kund and he took a form of a gopi, and he has this right to participate in Krishna's pastime. Don't take Narad Muni as a simple personality, and really to understand the scriptures, pray to Narad Muni to give you that mercy that he gave to Dhruva, how he enlightened Dhruv Maharaj, how he enlightened Prahlad Maharaj, two of the very lofty personalities. So, Srivas Thakur, then only I offer my respectful obeisance to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. Fernando Prabhu, you okay? You just listen. Do you have your Bhagavad Gita? Okay. So now I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Krishna along with their associate Sri Lalita and Vishaka. So only we cannot get mercy of Radha Krishna directly. That's why even we need to learn when we go to the altar, what is the proper way, proper mode to offer pranam. We start by Prabhupada, and then we offer pranam, then we go 6 Goswamis, Panch Tattva, then Gaurnitai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani. Even when we offer obeisance, we should look at them from where?
From the feet. From the feet up.
From the feet. Then you go towards there. Yeah.
See the order again. You said first you offered to Srila Prabhupada, and then
Yes, when you go, then you follow Guru Parampara, like you offer pranam in an ascending order. You look at Prabhupada, you offer your pranam, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then Bhakti Vinod Thakur, then Jagannath Das Babaji, like that. You go, and then there's 6 Goswamis. Of the 6 Goswamis on the altar, there is Gaurnitai, or sometimes even there is Panch Tattva. We need to be very careful, because when we do all that, it's like we are not learning, we are not doing it in a proper way. And just imagine when Krishna is standing there, and this is what he's expecting the least from us. Krishna is more pleased when we show respect to his devotees, then we serve his devotees than himself. So these are small things that we can learn to please Krishna. And then when we offer, even when we look at them, we need to, our sight should go at their lotus feet first. And then from their lotus feet, then we go upward to their navel, then to their face. We should never look at the deities directly. Is that clear, everybody?
Never look directly to the eyes.
Yeah.
And why is that? Is that a specific reason for that? Is that respect or what?
Yes, it is out of respect. And our refuge is where?
I don't see why. I think that's a dogmatic activity, but I'll have to respect it if that's the
Yeah.
tradition. But
Okay.
my form to
Yeah.
perceive is you love Krishna, you are one with him,
Mm.
and any activity he does, and you try to please, you are his servant, you belong to him.
Mhm.
He has given you life. He
Mhm.
will take your life whenever he wants. I don't think it's disrespectful to look someone in the eye, but it's a deity. I agree with that.
No,
That's just my perception as a human.
mhm.
Of course, there is utmost respectful.
Yeah, Guru.
So I'll follow that.
Mhm.
I don't think it's disrespectful.
Mhm. See what ISKCON and what we learn is not something we just follow the acharyas. We follow the whatever we learn from Prabhupada. Prabhupada he learned from his spiritual master. So this is how we are taught. Even in Vaishnava etiquette, you will learn how what are the anyway that is Vaishnava etiquette. We will not go deep into it.
done it too.
Yeah.
He-
Yeah. And then, dear associate Sri Lalita and Sri Vishaka, see Radha Krishna are never alone. So every time when we have them in our mind, it's also we are getting the mercy of Sri Lalita and Sri Vishaka. So on the altar, usually if we go to Mayapur, or usually where does Sri Lalita stand? Next to Radha Krishna, and where Vishaka stands.
To Krishna is like
Next to Krishna is who? Lalita or Vishaka Devi?
Shaka.
One is telling me Lalita, one is telling me Vishaka
I thought
Devi.
Lalita was more close to Radharani, right? Oh, who was Krishna?
Anybody?
I've got a picture. I should have been like from my
I
food.
don't know anything about that.
Vishaka?
It's okay.
Doesn't he stand near Mother
Next to
Radharani?
Krishna.
Next to Krishna.
Who stands next to Krishna?
Lalita?
Yes, very good.
She was guessing.
Yeah.
Good guess.
And next to Radharani, who stands next to Radharani?
Vishaka.
Yeah, Vishaka. Very good. So this is something to consider, and yeah. So we'll go to the next prayer. Mataji, can you read the translation of the next prayer? Is it clear? Anyone wants to add something on the Zoom from the Zoom line? No?
Can
Okay.
I, oh,
Yes, Mother Bhavani.
with regard to looking to the deities eye to eye, there's a bit of an ego thing going on here, like who's in control with the servant. We don't, if you look someone eye to eye, you look at them as an equal. And the only way that we can actually be able to look at someone as an equal to Krishna is when we've gone through from the feet all the way up. And then that shows that we're the servant, and we're not saying to Krishna, I'm equal to you. So that's part of the process of starting at the bottom and going up.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good,
Yeah,
Mataji.
I'd like to add the mercy of the Lord. No matter what is your condition, even if you are sinful, He gives you the possibility to reach to Him.
Definitely.
It's very clearly in the Gita.
Hari.
I don't think a glance is bad, but I'll follow the rule.
Yeah.
If that represents something that I don't know, okay, slap me in the face and I'll do it. Just be submissive.
Well, you see, there's two different what you're telling. Krishna is not we are not, it's not that you cannot reach Krishna, you cannot approach Krishna, you cannot be friend with Krishna. But the this shows that you respect the Lord as the supreme, as the greatest.
I thought
Yeah.
Krishna was my friend. I've seen it in the Gita.
Yeah,
Said,
we can.
if you approach Krishna, he's your friend. Let him see.
Yes, Mukunda Madhav Prabhu.
I just want to say, just in Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 22 in the purport, Prabhupada talks about this specifically, and he talks about it being a gradual process. And so what he specifically says about looking Krishna in the face, he says one should try not to look at the face of the Lord without being accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord first. And so it's exactly like what Bhavani Mataji was saying. Like, I think when you just assume that you can look someone in the eye, it's an assumption of equality. And I think a lot of us need to come to the place of surrender first. So to look at and concentrate and really get used to looking at his feet and knowing that that's the place of our refuge. And then we gradually rise to the stage of our individual personal relationship with the Lord. So I think it's a process. It's not like outlawing, saying you can never look someone in the eye, but I think we have to get accustomed to that, looking at the feet first. And like, I think it's that the exact as what you were saying about the ascending order of going from Prabhupada up. It's the exact same thing. We should be ascending from a place of surrender and then up to friendship or whatever other ras we have, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Mataji, I have one thing there too.
Yes.
Okay. When we're talking about all these Goswamis, right?
Yeah.
Actually, when they're not very exalted gopis in the other lives, that's why they became Goswamis in the other life.
Yeah, definitely. All these Goswamis, they are Manjaris.
Yeah.
Manjaris, we have gopis and Manjaris. They are close associates of Krishna. Like Rupa Goswami is known as anybody on the Zoom line? What is the name of Rupa Goswami in Golok Vrindavan? Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari, and all these, there are special course on acharyas. We are bringing these courses to Vancouver soon, but there is specific course just to study the life of the acharyas. So we will not go in detail here. That is another course and we can learn a lot. So very good, Mataji, very good point. Yes, Vishnu
Mataji,
Prabhu.
one small point that I read in Prabhupada's pastime is once there were some disciples of Prabhupada, they started imitating Radha Krishna pastimes and went into Sahjiya mentality. And Prabhupada was chastising them that you have ignored the immediate authority and directly going to like a CEO or the boss of the company. Like Prabhupada was saying, if you are working in a company, the employee reports to the immediate manager. He cannot directly go to the CEO of the company. That is not etiquette. And Prabhupada also was saying that you can only understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through 6 Goswamis. You can understand any Acharya through his predecessor Acharya. Like next Acharya only you can understand. Like if you want to understand Radha Krishna, you have to go through the mercy of Ashtasakis, like that Prabhupada was explaining.
It's true. And Mataji, there's another thing about obeisances, right? Like I heard that when you pay obeisances to the Lord, like your left, you have to do it from your left side, right? Because your heart is here. So you always do from the left side, right? And then you don't do it when the curtain is drawn and everything, because then Krishna, if he's lying down or eating, he has to get up and put his head and everything, then he has to come and whatever. Somebody told me like that don't
Nonsense.
curtains are drawn.
If you have a pure heart, you approach the deity and ask for whatever you wish. Reach
Yeah.
Krishna. You want to be one with Krishna. You want to stay with Krishna. That's what it gives you the purity of heart. Be there to ask something of value, not just I need bread or I need milk.
No, that the Christian does. I mean, in your mind, we are always showing respect, but see, when we install deity, there's a time we wake deity up, there's a time we serve. But in our mind, in our daily life, we can do different things with our in our Krishna consciousness. As you mentioned, I mean that there's a lot to learn in Vaishnava etiquette, Mataji.
That's true.
So we can,
Yeah. I
yeah,
surrender to that.
yeah. Okay, can we move forward? So we'll go to the mantra, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. So, okay, Krishna Shakti Mataji, can you read the English translation?
Krishna Shakti.
Sorry,
Oh.
Mahashakti.
Oh, my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Very good. You are the friend of the distressed. We say Dina Bandhu. So what do we understand here? Dina, who distressed. You are the friend of the distressed. What do we really understand by that? Anybody?
I could, but let Vishnu.
Anybody wanna share? What do you understand by Dina?
We are drowning in the material ocean without any help, and we are in a helpless state, Mataji.
It's true. And only Krishna can be our best friend in this condition because he's the supreme.
So what happens? Yes, Manta?
The Lord can be the best friend for those who are distressed because he can help us.
Yeah. Distress is also Sanskrit word Dina, distress. Who is distressed? Someone who lacks something is distressed. You know,
Yeah.
a poor person, someone who lacks money is in distress. Someone who lacks peace is in distress. Someone who lacks auspiciousness in his life or her life is in distress. So he is telling you the friend of the distress. So here Acharya comments that what does that mean? That you are the friend who is full in Vijnana, in realized knowledge. Your friend of the distress doesn't mean the distress who the common word that we use for, or someone is in distress. No, someone who is poor, who doesn't have Krishna in his life, who doesn't have knowledge about Krishna in his life. You are the friend of the distress. So we need, when we say, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, should be our mood. Oh Krishna, I am the poor. I don't have any knowledge. I don't have any quality. I am poor in knowledge, in realized knowledge. And I'll tell you, having knowledge dissipates half of the ignorance. Just having knowledge dissipates half of the problem. You know when people go for psychology, counseling, the very first the psychologist does is to make the person aware what is your problem. And that solves half of the problem. Because many times we don't even know what is. Actually, there is a saying that it's not a problem if you have a problem. Are you getting it? It's not a problem if you have a problem. It's a problem when you don't know you have a problem. Yes?
Yes.
And
Because
there
then you
is,
can't work on it.
yes. And another thing we have to understand, there is only 4 problems that needs to be solved.
Birth, death, old age.
Yeah. Anybody on the Zoom line? There is, see the definition of problem first we need to know. Anybody knows the definition of problem? What is the definition of problem?
Something
Any-
that stops you to achieve knowledge advancement, purification, or it could be a work. It's an obstacle,
Mhm.
but you have to observe it that there is there.
Okay, anybody else on the Zoom line? What is the definition of the word problem? Okay, so the definition of the word problem means something that cannot be solved. That's it. And there is only 4 things in the life of a human being that cannot be solved. Even we reach the highest peak of technology, the topmost advancement. And Mahashakti answered the question very nicely. What are the 4 problems? Can you say loudly, Mahashakti?
It is birth and death, repetition of birth, death, old age, disease.
And I will add something else. Ignorance.
Ignorance can be solved.
Only if you know.
It has a solution.
Yes.
Problem means something that you don't have a solution. So here we see anything that can be solved is not really problem. The 4 problem is birth, disease, old age, and death. And human form of life is meant to solve these 4 problems
Permanently.
Yeah. Once you get the solution for it, there's no temporary. If you solve it, you're not taking birth again. So this should be our mood. Krishna, I am the distress. I cannot solve. It's only by your mercy, Krishna, I can get out of this repeated cycle of birth and death. This is where this should be our mood. You're the master of the cowherd man and the lover of the gopis. See, when prayer should always be accompanied by glorification. Actually, we need to learn how to pray. When Krishna appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj didn't know what to do. Then anybody recalls what did Lord Vishnu do? He touched Dhruva's head with his conch shell, and Dhruva just started glorifying. So every time when we go for darshan or we are praying, we can make a lot of our own personal prayer by following the footstep of the acharyas. You see how Bhakti Vinod Thakur's prayers are so deep. In fact, we need to learn what to say. Instead of telling, like the Christians, Jesus, please give me my bread. That is a prayer, but the Father you ask, you don't ask, He will give definitely. We need to ask, we need to pray for us as a soul. And then we glorify. Brahma Samhita is all about Brahma glorifying Krishna. Chintamani Prakarasha. Such beautiful glorification. Prahlad Maharaj, Bhishma Stuti. Like that in Bhagavatam, you will see, you will learn how to pray. So here, we glorify. Who are you, Krishna? You are the master of who? The gopis, the topmost devotee, and who? Especially Srimati Radharani. You know, Krishna, this is how we please Krishna. And then after glorifying, I have to remind all of you, we have Bhakti Maharaj has mercifully agreed to come in and address us and give us his blessing, his mercy at 5:30.
Today.
Yeah. And
Nice.
what's happening after glorification of Krishna or Pranam? Then we go to Radharani.
Mm.
And now when we are glorifying Radharani, she's the queen of Vrindavan. Hey Radharani, the queen of Vrindavan. We describe his beauty. And what is the most important? You're very dear to Lord Krishna. So this is very beautiful when we glorify. You know how much Krishna is pleased when we are glorifying and we mean it. Sometimes we just, like parrots. Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe. We don't mean it. And Bhakti, every act is an internal business, not external. So is it clear on these mantras?
Yeah.
So we'll go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I forget. You said there's a Sanskrit word for self-realization. You said vijnana.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
These terms you will become familiar as we go in the Bhagavad Gita. So there is two kind of knowledge. Knowledge which is jnana. Like see Jnana.
Yes.
We are in agyan. Agyan means we are not in knowledge. We are in jnana means knowledge. So there is knowledge, jnana, and vijnana means realized knowledge, transcendental knowledge. And Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, scriptures of they give you transcendental knowledge. What is the difference between knowledge and transcendental knowledge? Anybody? Difference between knowledge and transcendental knowledge.
Well, knowledge isn't from the material world usually. Materialistic knowledge, and then the transcendental knowledge is of God. It's of a different world. It's of God, of the self-realized saints.
Yes. Transcendental knowledge is knowledge about the Lord.
Lord.
From the
And-
spirit.
Yeah, knowledge about, we'll come to know in introduction, Vijnana. So what is the effect of knowledge and transcendental knowledge? Knowledge, what happens? We know about something. It's like information. And we just keep that information. Like we go to school, we know about biology, about this subject. We are downloading information in our brain. And you apply it in our material activities. But transcendental knowledge, what does it do? Which common knowledge cannot do, jnana cannot do. But vijnana has the ability to purify the heart, to transform one's samskaras, impressions, habits, nature.
Hare Krishna.
It applies to the soul. That's why Bhagavad Gita it's a vijnana. Just by reading, people have changed drastically. And they have been able to give up so many bad qualities. It's mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, they have the ability to make unsaintly people become saintly. This is the power of Bhagavad Gita. Transform someone from demoniac quality so powerfully right away to divine qualities. And this is what we can see in the very first days of Prabhupada's disciples. How from hippies, Prabhupada was able to transform them to happies, saintly. This is the power of Vijnana. So it's clear, Mataji? Mahashakti? It's clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to add or any comments on that?
What about
Yeah, I would just,
Jagai
I have a-
Madai?
Sorry.
Yes, Mataji?
Jagai Madai, like they were so bad and then
Yes, example of Jagai Madai from unsaintly to saintly. So such a change. And also so many great personalities we can see, like Mrighari was enlightened by Narad Muni. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mukunda Madhav. Prabhu.
I was just wondering, so this is a clarification for me. With knowledge and transcendental knowledge, would knowledge be considered temporary and transcendental knowledge eternal? Because that is one of the ones that carries with us through lifetimes. Like you said, it's more knowledge of the soul.
Adjust the heater.
Oh,
Sorry, Prabhu. There was
Yes,
Just-
Yeah,
just-
no problem.
just give me a sec. Yes, sir. Adjust the.
To what?
And leave the door open, please.
Really?
Yeah, it's
No, but-
sorry, Prabhu.
No problem at all.
Yeah,
Mataji.
yeah.
I was-
Yeah.
I was just wondering, so with knowledge and transcendental knowledge, would knowledge be considered temporary and then transcendental knowledge eternal? Because one, like you said, the transcendental knowledge is more knowledge within the soul.
Yes, that is also true. Very good point, Prabhu. Knowledge is temporary. You see, when we leave our body, whatever knowledge we got, we became PhD or whoever, we leave everything. The next moment we are born, someone has to hold our hand and
Exactly,
help
yeah.
us start there. But
Well, like
Trans-
Arjuna says, right? Like when Arjuna, he has questions to Krishna about it, like, what if I fail on this path? And Krishna says that, no matter how much, this is an eternal, your progression in this spiritual knowledge. So I just wanted to clarify if that was one of the things with knowledge and transcendental knowledge.
yes, you're right. That's a very good point.
Okay.
Definitely. And one who is intelligent will become a student of Bhakti Shastri.
Haribol.
Yeah. Well, gradually. Yes.
So something like, can we say something like
Loud.
Jnana and Vijnana, right?
Yes.
Knowledge is something that we can perceive through our senses.
Yeah.
And transcendental knowledge is something it is revealed through the mercy of spiritual master
Oh,
in the
yeah.
heart.
Yes, we had discussed that in previous class. How transcendental knowledge you cannot grab, you cannot steal, you cannot shop around. Transcendental knowledge you receive, and how you receive by the mercy. So this is why when we are doing Mangalacharan with all our heart, all our devotional mood, we are requesting, we are praying, we are like humbly making strong plea to the Lord. Please, please, my Guru, please, Acharyas, please. So this is how we are preparing for us to receive the knowledge.
May I ask a question? It's rather personal. How would you approach yourself to that state of glorifying the Lord? I have my own system, but it's a personal question.
So we have many times we are together. I can explain that to you. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? So try to understand every time why I'm going through that. Once you develop the deep impression, the knowledge, the understanding of Mangalacharan, it's gonna be with you forever. And every time you will chant this knowledge, that is a difference between knowing and studying. So we'll go to the can you read? Okay, someone on Zoom line. Can you read the translation of Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha? Feel
I
free.
can, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desire of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls.
Yes, very good. I offer my respectful obeisance. They can fulfill the desires of everyone. Okay. I have a point. If I want ice cream, I say, okay, this verse is telling me that they can fulfill the desires of everyone. Okay, I want ice cream. Prove to me. Yeah?
But that's a challenging attitude, isn't it?
No, let's debate on it.
Okay.
You know, because like, okay, because it's okay. You know, my daughter, she would be questioning me about everything in Bhagavad Gita. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, but I want a tablet, I want an
I think
iPad.
spiritual desires that they mean here, not instinct.
Very good. Spiritual desires.
Come
So
to my house
here,
and I feed you ice cream.
sorry.
Come to
Where
my house and I will feed you ice cream.
See, so the verse, this mantra proved true. Thank you, Ishwari Mataji.
Even prashadam is transcendental too.
Yeah, I know. And even your ice cream will be it will be prashadam.
Forgiveness and compassion, it is too. So anything that leads you to the Lord, there are steps to follow, and that's what I was referring to. But
Yes, Prabhu.
So Mataji, are you saying that there are material desires and spiritual desires for everyone, and only spiritual desires is what we are referring to in this verse, is it? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
See, everything, even material things become spiritual if we are putting that in the service of Krishna.
exactly.
You understand what I mean? But this, what happens sometimes, we need help with something and we don't have, and the devotee, Krishna arranges in a way the devotee like a table. So what will the devotee do with a table? He will use it in Krishna's service. So similarly, everything here we understand that how when we are in that mode of spiritual quest, Krishna is going to help us through devotees.
Yeah.
And
This is
there is another point here, very important point here.
yeah, I can
Because-
see her wishing.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Ishwari Mataji.
Yes, clearly.
Mataji is not sharing her video.
Mataji, are you on audio?
That-
Would
No,
like
I'm
to
not.
see you, Mata. We'd like to have your darshan.
Oh, there's no.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyways,
Next time. We are
so
not qualified to have your darshan today.
Can I mention this?
Yes, go ahead.
Krishna actually loved devotees so much that he makes sure that what they promise and what they say happens, and he empowers devotees to be able to help. You know,
Mm-hmm.
did you get my point?
Yes, yes, definitely.
They're like desired trees because they're so dear to Krishna that he's happy to help them to fulfill those desires of everyone. And
Mhm.
he always, like, remember that incident with Srila Prabhupada when that airplane was going to London and Srila Prabhupada said that it was going to Calcutta, and the plane went to Calcutta because Prabhupada stated that it goes to Calcutta, turned around and went. So, and in general, the other point is that all my life I've been praying to devotees, like all my conscious life already, right? To devotees for help when something happened in my life, this or that, and regarding those distress instances, right? We're all Krishna friend to all of us, because we're all always in distress. In material world, we all are in distress. So in all those times when we're in distress, I am in distress, I would ask Vaishnavas to help me, to pray. And it is only when Vaishnavas prayed for my sons, they survived. So many Vaishnavas prayed for my sons and they survived, and everybody is healthy now and wonderful. And this is just an example.
Yes, very good, Ishwari Mataji. Now we see how a devotee can act as a kalpa vriksha. So here, see, my mood also is to study Bhagavad Gita and the words in different angles. So here, vancha kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha, everybody knows, is just like a desired tree. Now, a devotee is considered to be a desired tree. So, what should be our mood? Our mood is to, a devotee's mood should be, Krishna, help me to become the desired tree. Make me become the desired tree. I'm going to explain to you how one can become a desired tree. First, there are different kinds of devotee: Kanishtadikari, Madhyamadikari, Uttamadikari. And I'll give you an example of Prabhupada. What kind of devotee was Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada was in such a mood that he made the instruction of his spiritual master his life purpose. And another thing he did was, Krishna, I am a puppet in your hand. Make me dance the way you want. So what So what Krishna did? Krishna used Prabhupada for his purpose. This should be a devotee's mood. Krishna, use me for your purpose. And ultimately, what Krishna is looking for? Krishna is looking for those devotees that who are ever ready to become Kalpavriksha, ever ready to become puppet in his hand. Because when Krishna sees so many children out there suffering, what does he do? He uses those souls, those people who are ready to become Kalpavriksha, who are ready to become puppet in Krishna's hand. And then Krishna, when so just imagine Krishna is in Golok Vrindavan, and his child A is struggling, and then he is looking for ways to help him. What will he do? He will look among his children B, C, D, E, F. And do you think Krishna will choose just anybody to tell and go help my child A who is suffering? That he will choose anybody? No. Among the B, C, D, E, he will see whose heart is open, is ready to serve to this extent. Then will Krishna will say, okay, Mahashakti she has this mood to be a puppet in my hand. So Krishna, as Chaitya Guru, will inspire you, will guide you. Okay, go and help devotee A. So this is the position we have to put ourselves. Krishna, use me as you want. Krishna, guide me in my service as you want. Anya bilasita sunyam. We need to serve Krishna favorably, and only in that mood we can serve Krishna. Like Ishwari Mataji just mentioned that there were many devotees who were praying when his son got into this accident. So who are nothing happens by chance. Why a certain particular devotee were able to pray intensely? Because they were chosen by Krishna, because they made themselves available, they created that mood, they want to be this person. Like Prabhupada. Do you think Krishna would just use anybody to do what Prabhupada did during his lifetime? No, because Prabhupada has this heart full of compassion, of love, to that extent that he went way out of his comfort zone, not just out of his comfort zone, he risked his life. That how he became Kalpavriksha. You know, Prabhupada became a desire tree for so many souls. What is the desire of the soul? Let's understand that. All the jivas, all they are desiring, all they need is Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead. Krishna.
Is to connect with
Glory.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, that's clear.
So Prabhupada became the desire tree of all many jivatmas. Why? Because he developed that mood. He made himself available. This is how devotees, out of compassion, even in the snow or even in harsh weather, even they're tired, they go ahead to give Harinam, to give books to the jivas out there. And there are so many instances how just someone by reading a book or by seeing a devotee or meeting a devotee, their life has changed. So what does Kalpavriksha mean? Kalpavriksha means one can fulfill the desire of the soul. The desire of the soul is to connect to Krishna. directly or indirectly, everybody is looking for Krishna. Everybody is in need of Krishna. It's just some knows it
That's right.
the right way, bhakti yoga. Some are doing that from this yoga, that yoga. Some are thinking of different ways, but ultimately every soul is in search of Krishna. So all we have to do is tell Krishna, I want to make me become a kalpa vriksha. It's true. Why it's true? A devotee is a desire tree. Many of you have experienced how Krishna reciprocate to our needs, our need as a soul, guide us to our guru, guide us to our Diksha guru, guide us in so many ways. He uses situation or people. They are all kalpavriksha helping us to come back home. Don't just think that good experience with devotees, they are like kalpavriksha. Even lessons given by other people, these people are kalpavriksha because they are helping us to connect with Krishna. Then everything becomes a blessing. A lesson becomes a blessing. A message is a blessing only when everything helps us to reach Krishna, to connect with Krishna. So this is very powerful. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. Think about others, devotees, but think how I can become that. I'm imbibe this mode, this mantra in my life. I can become that person. They're full of compassion for this fallen soul. So, Krishna, guide me how I can become compassionate. Study Bhagavad Gita at the end of chapter, end of Bhagavad Gita, measure how far we have come to become Krishna conscious, how our level of Krishna consciousness was here, to what level it came up to, my compassion, everything. We need to always reflect and analyze and work on it. Okay, so we'll go to the Panchtattva mantra. Did you read already? So read the Panchtattva mantra.
I offer my obeisances to Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasa, and all others in the line of devotion.
Yes, so see Panchtattva, it's mentioned Panchtattva mantra. It nullifies. Maharaj will be coming soon.
He is there. Yeah.
Yeah, so very quickly, just move your shoes and put all the shoes in the corner. So Panchtattva mantra, why we chant the Panchtattva mantra before chanting our rounds? Anybody?
He helps us to chant with less offense, at least. Take away offenses while chanting.
Okay, Mahashakti is telling it takes away our offenses while we are chanting. Yes.
Well, I think just further to what Mahashakti Mataji was saying, the reason that takes away the offenses is because Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda are so merciful. They're the most merciful. So they're willing to forgive our errors if we're doing our best, trying our best, then they'll forgive us if we make an error.
Yes, very good, Mataji. So we welcome His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj. Maharaj, you are addressing the just Okay.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Maharaj. So,
Am I on good time?
yes, Maharaj. I think you're 1 minute early.
Do I sit there?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm known to be an on-timer.
Yes. So, so we have 10 devotees on Zoom line, Maharaj,
Okay,
and usually they are here, but because of the snow, and they couldn't come.
they're not brave.
Thank you. I think it like that. Yeah, I'm the snowman, so you know. You're the walking monk, but I'm the snowman.
Whatever condition you plow through it, motor will die. So what would you like me to concentrate on?
Well, Maharaj, we welcome you and thank you very much we seek your mercy and blessing. We all students here learning, diving into the Bhagavad Gita, the conversation of Krishna. I guess Krishna is going to converse with us as we study.
Mhm.
And we would like to hear some guidance, some advice, and your mercy for us. It's a 2-year journey that we'll be going through together.
Isn't that interesting? A 2-year journey over a few minutes chat with only 18 days of warfare. It's very interesting. Yes, good. Well, time is on our side. And Krishna mentions in the Gita that in several places that he is time. So we don't think about Krishna in the form of, the calculation of the time factor.
Mhm.
And it's a serious meditation. So if it's 2 years, we know that it'll get over in no time.
Yes. Mhm.
And we'll only hanker to, my experience with studying the Gita and being on Zoom calls with different groups is that, we come to the end of it and said, what did I learn? I learned a few things, but I think I now have to go back, flip back to page 1 and see what I missed out on. And that's the mystical nature of the Bhagavad Gita. It's something that it's deep and it's easy to miss some points. And I think that's a natural response for a lot of people. And I think that's what the draw is as well. It's deep. It's not, who can have fun in shallow water? If you're going to go for a swim, you want some depth, so you can submerge, you can meditate, you can watch the fish, and really get yourself cleansed. And that's what's my big other novels or other stories or other songs. Bhagavad Gita is merely a song, right? But other songs can only take you so far, and you can wade in them, but you can't go deep. So that's what's nice. It's a conversation between a yogi and a martial artist. That's the way we put it when we were in Cuba 2 weeks ago exactly. Because I had a bunch of people who are martial artists and Tai Chi folks, and I had to sort of put things in words that, and of course, had to be translated to Spanish, but to put it in those terms, I said, it's a conversation between a yogi and a martial artist. And then, I kind of got their attention. If I was to, and of course, if you also present it as a conversation between God and the soul, that also can sort of be a draw. That could be an attraction. In any case, there's something worth it. I mean, I love this quote from the Bhagavad Gita where it is said by, just trying to think which author here I want to refer to, Henry David Thoreau. In the morning, I bathe my intellect in the stupendous and cosmogonal philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, in comparison with which our modern world and its literature seem puny and trivial. And so it's like when we look at the Gita, it's like the universe talking to us. Isn't it like that? Just somebody forward to me a recent video put together by someone who videoed the aurora borealis, the northern lights.
Mhm.
And oh my God, that was pretty dazzling with the colors and the formations and the swirls and everything like that. Well, that's just a little spark of Krishna's splendor, you can say, if I can pull the words right out of the Gita.
Just as spring, it is a new beginning.
It is a new beginning. Yes, the Gita is that. It's a wake-up call, offers a wake-up call, offers our true identity. This identity crisis is a big issue for a lot of people these days. There's a lot of confusion. So here it makes things a lot more clear. And also adhering to a sense of responsibility. There's a strong message there. Don't cower just because one day you wake up and it just happens to be a difficult day. And the mode of ignorance is just weighing heavy on you more than usual, like the tamagun. Go through your responsibility anyways, plow through it. Regardless, if you're a long distance walker, if it rains, it snows, you might take a little break, but you can't let it be intimidated by it. You have to keep going on with your mission, onward. And, I think we grow from it because the more you read it and study it, the more you see the magnitude of Krishna. And to myself or any one of us in comparison to the message that's there, I do end up being a little bit puny, small. And humility is where everything begins for success. If you take a humble position on any task, any project, you're bound to be successful. And of course, the project has to be approached with some aggression. And that's what Krishna's trying to tell Arjuna. Move forward. Don't go backward. Don't go in reverse. Because that will get you, you're going to have to tackle the problem anyways. So if you get enough guts to go forward to kind of like the steps, the particular plateau where you were, then it just so much time is lost. So keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And just in my last few days while I was here, I was privy to a lot of people who were dying. There's so many messages, and I was fortunate to be on the phone with at least 2 people within 1 hour to kind of just give some last words before they passed away. Yeah. And so we meet with death, but one beautiful thing about the Gita, it helps us to understand there's not really such a thing as death. It's just a sleep, and you wake up and you're in a new situation, a new day. The sun has risen again, where you have a new opportunity. The book is about courage and all the qualities of the Kshatriya that is in there, chapter 18, text 43, and all the qualities of a Brahminical person. That's text 42, just one verse prior. And most of our literatures are talks between the sadhu and the martial artist, the Kshatriya and the Brahmin, so to speak, all of them. Practically, you anywhere in the Bhagavatam, anywhere in these stories, you can take extracts from the Ramayana. It's always between these 2 people who have good intentions. And if we don't grab a hold of the power that's within us, then it'll go in a wrong direction. So Arjuna, who's a man of passion, he is being steered by Krishna, the level-headed, well-intended Krishna. And then Arjuna was able to play out his role properly. The problem is when people have a lot of power and it's misdirected and there's no discipline, let's say, applied, then you're dangerous. You're Michael Jackson. Dangerous. Yeah, so beautiful text, and probably the most well-established dialogue between 2 people ever. And if there's a soliloquy or somebody talking to themselves that's famous in the English language, it's Hamlet. He's talking to himself, you know, to be or not to be. In this case, with Arjun, to do or not to do, that is the question.
Yeah.
And Krishna says, it's a do. It's not a don't. Yeah, so, you know, once we dive into this Gita and its message, we want to share it, right? That's really where it's supposed to respond. You can't just be comfortable with immersing yourself in making absorption and then doing nothing with it, especially this time of the year. It's the time of giving. There's no greater gift to humankind than wisdom, right? And it's something that doesn't come in a package with a nice ribbon bow on top of it, or a nice little, you know, shiny bag with handles on it. It's just much more than that. It's a treasure, you know, something the pirates could never imagine, you know, because their objective, their modus operandi was not to get that kind of treasure. This kind of, their involvement was material wealth.
Yeah, they cannot steal it, in other words.
That's true. And they will not find it. They won't find it. But it's for the sincere seeker of the truth. And one thing that really comes through in the Bhagavad Gita, I always think about what Prabhupada says in a purport right in the beginning: better to be a sincere sweeper of the street than to be a charlatan meditator. So we want to be genuine about our
I'm
spirituality.
between those two.
Are you?
Sometimes I incline one way, sometimes the other.
Well, by the time you get finished through the studies and you stay in the right sangha, you know, you won't be sitting on the fence anymore. You'll be Arjuna in chapter 18 and not be Arjuna in chapter 1 or 2. Everyone has to make their choice. Is it Arjuna chapter 1, 2, or Arjuna chapter 18? What makes the dialogue so fun is, like any dialogue, any drama, if you will, there has to be conflict. There has to be some trouble, some challenge, and in the end, there's a resolve. And that's what we come to terms with here. Some resolve. And you come out a better person, a better soul.
So how can we become transcendental? Does the fasting and the praying and the...
Well, the first, just to answer your question, it all starts with the right sangha. You have to be with the right people. You have to spend some time with the right folks, the people that can charge your battery. From there, everything starts. If your battery is not charged, you can't do anything. You're not going anywhere.
Is it wrong to do it alone? Because I tend to say, alone. I don't need this, I don't need that. I got Krishna in my heart. Is that wrong? Is that like selfish?
It's not recommended. Not many people excel by doing everything solo. The culture has all to do with not flying solo, but to hear from someone who's more wise than you. Arjuna came to the wrong conclusion. He thought on his own without consulting with Krishna. He said, no, I don't think I'm going to go through with this. Govinda, I shall not fight. And Krishna kind of stepped in. What did I just hear? I have to clear my ears. What did I hear? You know, and then Krishna made it clear. Now, are you a Kshatriya? So let's get on with the ball then. You know, what were you trained for? What's your natural proclivity? And in that analysis, it comes very clear. He was to do his duty. Just like anybody, if you're a military person and you're on the call of duty, you have to act. If you're a parent, you bring a child into the world. Mother and father have to have some arrangement. and get really deep involved in the matter. And if you're a teacher by profession, you've got to teach. And if you're a student by, not by default, by natural consequence, your job is to sit down and hear and not to say too much, but spend a lot more time. They have a saying, the indigenous people say, never let your mouth get in the way of your 2 ears.
One mouth.
Yeah, why do we have 2 ears and 1 mouth? That means we maximize the time here as opposed to here. Mind you, later on, we use this, but it takes training. It takes.
The temple is not quiet ever. Everybody's, someone's talking, there's a message, and then blah, blah, blah,
Well,
like birds.
well, that's another issue. Well, that's another issue. And then maybe it's your job to
Monastery, I say.
do some charades.
Monastery.
This is universal, isn't it?
And then that makes the noise.
Okay. Yeah, so the Gita is supposed to help us become transformed, and it should do that if we apply ourselves rightly. And we can have some downtime, but we definitely need to have some uptime, right? After all, any urban area has an uptown and downtown, right? So it's a good idea to visit both places. Uptime and downtime. Yeah, but time. Put the time in, slot it in at the right moment. Good. So I just want to encourage you all to continue.
Thank you. Thank you
These
so much.
studies.
I should have, I mean, you already know, I should have, can you introduce, let everybody on Zoom line introduce themselves.
Yes, and we can see their
Yes,
wonderful lotus faces.
can they come on big screen? Okay, and each one of you, if you can introduce yourself, Maharaj would.
It's already big screen one.
Yes.
This is the biggest screen, no?
No, like Udanya Mataji is there, then she how to.
Whoever is-
Don Leah, we know you, Don Leah. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Maharaj. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person with you, but I hope that I will be in person with you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Yes, no problem. The report is that on the island, there's just like a sort of icing sugar on the, on the terrain. It's not like.
Perfect.
The frost.
Thank you for joining us, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Please accept mine. Yes. So we have other devotees there, Malika,
Yes.
right?
Hare Krishna.
Otherwise,
Thank you so much for being here. I'm not sure if you can hear me very well. I'm not very good at Zoom.
I can
Hi.
hear you very well. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I can hear you very well. All of us
Okay.
can.
Yes, my name is Malika and I'm a second generation devotee from birth. My mom is sitting right next to you, Mahashakti. And I wish that I was there to meet you in person.
Yes.
And I wanted to tell you in person, but unfortunately I couldn't be there today. And I just wanted to say hello from your friend Sarva Boma. That's my dad. He just wanted to say hi to you.
Oh, kidding.
And-
Oh my God, I know him. Cool. Cool,
And
Dad.
thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to learning. I just had a question for you. I was just wondering if there's one thing that we could take away from studying the Gita, what would it be?
Sweet surrender.
Sweet surrender.
Yeah, surrender has sometimes negative connotations. Oh, I'm giving up my free will. I'm entering into slavery. But actually you are entering into servitude, but it's a sweet servitude. Our natural position is to be as servant, right? And we were in denial, for since time immemorial. And we thought it's better if I could just play God. But it hasn't worked out. We've gone through many lives continuing to try it out. Nothing really works. except for becoming a servitor. And there's a sweetness to it. Prabhupada explains there's two kinds of souls, right? There are those that are conditioned souls and constitutional souls. Conditioned souls they have all conditions. So I'll do this. So, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Okay. But then there's the other one, constitutional. Live by your nature. Live by who you really are. That I'm just a little spark of life, and why don't we just keep it that way instead of being superficial?
Thank
Yeah,
you so
so
much. Hare Krishna.
SS, just remember SS, sweet surrender.
Sweet
No
surrender.
problem
Thank you
from
so
there.
much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? And of course, we got Mukunda Madam. We have Bhavani. Haven't seen you for centuries, it seems. For centuries, Mr. COVID kind of, or is it a Mr. or
It's
Mrs.?
true, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Maharaj. This is really nice to see you. I've been remiss in contacting you, and I felt it. I felt like I wanted to, but never seemed to get round to it. So it's nice that you've come in here tonight, and I can tell you that I haven't gone away. I'm still around.
Well, yes, yeah, there aren't too many icebergs coming down that you can latch onto and take you to the south. But just to let everybody know, in addition to this, we have a Gita chat every 2 weeks with devotees on the West Coast, and the next time we're doing it is tomorrow, and that'll be 4 o'clock tomorrow. If anybody's
We
interested,
can,
yeah, it's very casual. Zoom, yeah.
I can
Yeah,
I can share the link in our group, Maharaj, if you like.
that'd be fantastic.
yes.
We're open to having a few more people. We're trying to have more. There's enough space in like Hollywood Squares, whatever they call that,
Oh, yeah.
Rowan and Martin's laughing. We got some space in there. Yeah. Okay, and so Bhavani, nice to see you. And of course, Mukunda is great there. And who else are we missing? LG Stylo 3+, who's that? Krishna Shanti's there. Hare Krishna. She braved the winter, the snow. Did you all hear the thunder
I did
I-
this morning.
Yeah.
in a snowstorm? I sent the message to like across our zone, like in Canada, and nobody could believe it. But it's true. I've never believed it would. You never believe
It
it.
came from Toronto, my husband said, because they had
The snow?
the wind and
The
snow, and
snow?
then it brought it here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
So
God.
you're carrying the snow, the stone.
Somebody told me I was carrying the sun. I landed here the other day, right? So thank you for coming. The first sunshine in about in weeks.
Exactly. And in fairness, Maharaj, the snow started before you came, and then you brought the sun, and then it came back. So
Here comes the sun. So Bhavani, I love the color of your flower arrangements in the back.
Oh,
Blue
and
is-
the picture up here. I think you can just see it if I do that.
Oh, I can see him.
It's Madan Mohan, and I believe it's a picture taken by Jai Govinda.
Oh,
And from way back, I just sort of inherited it a couple of years ago.
Jaigo. Yeah, good old
Yeah.
Jaigo. Great. Well, that's it. I think I better get going.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a set program that we have to attend to. So thank you very much. I want to encourage you in your program. It looks like you're a lovely bunch. You're like a flower vase, like the one that's at Bhavani's table. So, like
I
that.
like artificial, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, they're artificial. Yes, they're artificial.
Nice.
Well, we won't talk about that part of it.
Oh, but they are still flowers, and they're really
Yeah.
well done, and it works.
Yeah, it works. Okay, super. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got to get rocking and
Yes,
rolling.
Maharaj.
I have to get my toboggan ready. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Skis or whatever. All right. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.
Ciao.
Hare
And
Krishna.
others are in the kitchen.
Others are in the kitchen. Sure. I understand the emergency
Yes,
situation.
Maharaj.
People have to eat.
Yes.
We have heat.
Yes.
We have heat.
I put pressure on.
So, Hare Krishna.
Can Mukunda send that Zoom code? Are you going to send it? Are you sending it here, Mukunda?
I could send it here. Yeah, I was gonna send it in the WhatsApp group, Mataji, but I could send it here.
So,
I'm not in the WhatsApp group. That's why
No
I'm
problem.
saying to you. Okay.
Okay,
so,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
yeah, so what I'll do, Mother Bhavani, is I'll send it to you in your email.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do that. And it's good, Maharaj. We'll get association of Maharaj. So please do send it and mention about the everything will be mentioned in the Zoom link, the time and everything.
Mhm.
Because West Coast, is it time? Do we have a time difference?
Oh, yeah.
It's 4 o'clock Pacific, Mataji.
Oh, so
And
okay.
it's every second Monday.
Okay, so just send the link, Prabhu, and mention the time. That would be
I
nice.
will, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So-
I can also add everybody that anybody who wants to join it, just let me know and I'll add you to we have a WhatsApp group just for that class. So
Yeah,
anybody who wants to join it, just let me know and I'll add you to the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Prabhu send any message to us yet? Because I don't have it.
I have to check
Okay.
if I added you already or not.
All right. So then,
Yeah. So it's 5 minutes to 6. So we covered the Mangalacharan, and yeah, I mean Mahamantra everybody knows, and that's a lifetime challenge to come to a position to chant Mahamantra purely, and we all work together. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll stop our class here. We'll end. And any question, any query? I've been told, yes, regarding the new year, I've been, well, it's not New Year, but Christmas Day is on the 25th. It's Sunday next. So as I understand, there are devotees who have their commitment with family and other things. So discuss on the Zoom, on the group, if we can do on Zoom any day, if we can replace that on a Saturday or any day that suits everybody. And even for New Year, I mean, we should keep trying. If Zoom helps us to conduct a class when we are not free on that particular day, we can change our time also. Like if 7, I don't know, 6:30 to 8:30 on a weekend, on a weekday, or on a Saturday. So let's debate on that, and we can come to a conclusion whether we can have the session or we have to cancel it completely. And that also applies for the New Year class. Because it's always good ending the year very Krishna consciously, and keep on with our studies also. So
Is my daughter still there?
yes.
Hi, Malika.
Malika, your mom wants to tell you hi, so come here, Mata. Sure. Yeah. So
Mataji, I just wanted to say I shared the link in the chat in the Zoom call, and then I also just sent it in the WhatsApp group. But I just sent it in the Zoom right now in case Bhavani Mataji wanted to copy it.
I've done that already. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're so Hare Krishna,
awesome.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So if you don't have any question, any query, any comments, then we end the class here. Thank
I have
you
a
very
comment.
much.
Thank you very much, Mother
Thank
Nishta,
you.
for organizing it again and again. And thank you very much for having Maharaj with us. And in general, it is very, very helpful. You're starting the course on the right note, for us to compenetrate with the smooth of the Mangala prayers, and actually they will stay with us forever once we know the meaning, right? For so many years, for me, it was just some kind of foreign language talking people, before class.
Yeah.
For so many first years.
Yeah.
When I was raising my kids, I didn't have chance even to open anything and study and read, but thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And next, whenever there's a class, I'll be definitely there. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare
So
Krishna.
Mataji, we don't have a class next.
Next Sunday we won't, but we'll discuss if we can have another
Yeah, we want to.
on a session. Yeah.
So just keep reading
Yeah.
1 to 16. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Your class.
Okay, I'll end the session for now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody.